Like this video and subscribe to our channel, or else a billionaire might buy your house, unless you want that. It's fair to say, when you reach a certain level of wealth and power in the world, you lose some of your common sense. Most of us have to worry about budgeting for the month, having enough to buy groceries, paying rent. But if you're a multi-billionaire, these problems just don't exist for you. Instead, your biggest worry is, which sports car am I buying today? Or which 5-star hotel shall I go to for the weekend? Some billionaires go that extra mile to spend their endless supply of money on some truly ridiculous things. And so, in this list, we're going to count down the top 10 silliest things billionaires own. Trust us, some of the items on this list will make you bust a gut laughing with how silly they are. So, make sure to stick around to the end of the video to know which one we think is the silliest. 10. Canine jewelry. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the $3.2 million diamond collar? Yes, you heard correctly. $3.2 million. The Amor dog collar is just one of many diamond-encrusted collars created by I Love Dog Diamonds, a company specializing in canine jewelry. Its $3.2 million price tag is because of its 52-carat decorative features. The collar is lined with 1,600 hand-set diamonds and one DIF cut diamond in the middle. The senior editor of Forbes magazine called the Amor the Bugatti of dog collars, which seems appropriate since you could literally buy a Bugatti Veyron with the money spent on one of these collars. Diamonds might be a girl's best friend, but maybe they're pretty friendly with dogs too. 9. Paris Hilton's fancy kennel. It's nice to buy your dog a diamond collar, but what about a new kennel? You could instead do what Paris Hilton did, which was spend $325,000 on a mini mansion for your dog to live in. We guess you could say she's barking mad. Get it? The luxury dog mansion is modeled after the Spanish colonial style with a pink interior color scheme and even miniaturized furniture. Just in case it gets a bit stuffy in there, Paris took the liberty of installing air conditioning units. Because if there's one thing that worries most dog owners, it's whether or not their dogs are getting a nice breeze as they chew on a juicy bone. Tinkerbell, Paris's chihuahua, is sadly no longer with us. But at least while she was around, she got to live the same life of luxury as her owner. 8. Kim and Kanyes luxury bathroom. Where to begin with this one? It must be pretty much accepted amongst all billionaires that it's okay to spend insane amounts of money on everyday household items, as long as they're colored gold. That's the only reason we can guess as to why someone would want to buy a gold toilet. Now, golden toilets aren't necessarily a luxury reserved only for billionaires. You can buy gold-colored toilets for just over $700 on eBay. But Kim Kardashian and Kanye West took it to the next level when they spent $750,000 on refurbishing the bathroom suite of their Bel Air mansion to have a completely gold color scheme. We're not just talking gold toilet. They also had gold waste bins and gold toilet paper. Imagine Fort Knox mixed with Bed Bath & Beyond. What's crazier is this isn't even the most extravagant amount of money spent on a toilet. The Hong Feng Gold Technology Group created a golden bathroom suite worth more than $29 million, with the solid gold toilet worth $5 million alone. Call us conservative, but the classic white toilets we're used to are just fine. 7. Fish for billionaires. If you're someone who was scared to death by Jaws, maybe look away for the next entry. Hedge fund manager and owner of the New York Mets baseball team, Steve A. Cohen, is also a man of culture. He's well known for being an art collector, and with a net worth of $14.6 billion, he's got enough cash to splash on the most lucrative of modern art pieces. One of these pieces was Damien Hirst's The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living. A pretty wordy name for what's essentially a tiger shark hanging in a glass case of formaldehyde. What the hell this art piece is supposed to mean is beyond us, but Cohen clearly saw something profound about it, enough to have spent potentially $8 million on it, although there's no specific amount that's ever been released to the public. Nevertheless, $8 million for a dead shark. Maybe if you want something in your house that'll scare the lights out of your kids if they get into trouble, Damien Hirst is the man to call. 6. Antilia. So far, we've had a shark, a dog mansion, and a gold toilet. this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to know what is even sillier than this, then stick around to the end of the video. Antilia is the home of Mukesh Ambani, an Indian billionaire and CEO of Reliance Industries Limited. If you look at photos of the property, you'd think it was something your kids would build out of mismatched Lego bricks. But it is actually the second most valuable residential property in the world after Buckingham Palace. It's worth a staggering $2.2 billion. That's the same amount of money James Cameron's Titanic made worldwide. When someone is giving the Queen of England a run for her money, you know they're not to be messed with. Why it costs so much is because it's 27 stories tall and comes furnished with a 50-seat theater, a ballroom, terrace gardens, 3 helipads, and even air traffic control. Seems like less a home and more a high-rise airport. 5. 24-karat tech. Off the top of your head, how many times have you dropped your cell phone or lost it around the house? Too many to count, right? Just imagine how much more stressed out you'd be if the phone you dropped or lost was covered in gold and diamonds. In 2013, an anonymous Hong Kong billionaire known only as Joe paid $15 million to have his iPhone 5 customized with a gold and diamond-encrusted casing. It's 600 white diamonds across the sides with a solid gold lining, not to mention a sapphire-lined glass screen, and to top it all off, a 26-karat black diamond in place of the home button. Siri, play Diamonds by Rihanna. Stuart Hughes, the British craftsman who created the luxury phone, claims the phone to be the most expensive in the world. He actually beat his own record from 2011 when he customized an iPhone 4S with 500 diamonds, amounting to $9 million. Maybe in a few years, he'll make the first billion-dollar phone, although we have no idea who will be crazy enough to buy it. 4. Amir's shiny vehicle. So, you're probably thinking there's nothing else in the world that could be covered in diamonds, right? The Saudi prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud would beg to differ. With a net worth of $16 billion, Al-Walid can certainly afford his fair share of sports cars. So, how do you make sure your car stands out from the crowd in a way that'll make people go, huh? Easy! You cover your Mercedes L600 in diamonds. Just looking at this car, you can't help but think it looks a bit silly. But it's also now worth $4.8 million. You could buy 2 Pagani Huayra Tempestas with that money, and there's zero chance you'll be worrying about priceless jewelry chipping off your car door as you're driving. 3. Hameds Big Signature. Ever go to the beach and see a load of kids writing in the sand? Our next entry is exactly the same. Only instead of a kid, it's a sheik from the United Arab Emirates, and you can see the writing from space. It's no longer there, but from 2011 to 2012, Sheikh Hamed bin Hamdan Al Nahyan decided to spruce up his private island of Futaisi by paying an undisclosed amount of money to have the name Hamed dug into the island so that it can be seen from space. The word was 1 kilometer in height and 2 miles wide. That's almost as long as Central Park in New York. So why on earth did Hamed have his name engraved on the island like this? He's never said, nor has he said why the name is no longer there. Maybe he was worried aliens would see his name and want to abduct him. 2. Top-of-the-line t-shirt. Dr. Fuja was someone with the Midas touch when it came to clothes, and I suppose when you are crazy rich you want to show the world just how much money you have in the clothes you wear. Fuja took this literally by paying $240,000 for what the Guinness Book of World Records called the most expensive shirt in history. The shirt was made of pure 22-karat gold with 7 Swarovski crystals for buttons and even a matching gold belt. It must have blinded people when Fuja wore it in the sunlight. They must have had to wear sunglasses. Sadly, Fuja died in 2016, but his record has yet to be beaten. Perhaps if someone made a shirt entirely out of platinum, they could do it. 1. Hassan al-Bolkiah's trim. So, for our number 1 spot, we have the Sultan of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah. He has enough money to spend that he likes to get his hair cut by the finest barbers in the world, or at least the most expensive. He often flies over from Brunei to the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair, London to get a trim from his favorite barber. Flying internationally to get a haircut is without a doubt the silliest thing you could spend money and time on. And the Sultan spends $24,000 per haircut. Whoever is working that day must feel incredibly lucky. We obviously are too polite to comment on whether the Sultan's haircut looks as good as it costs, but even the best trim in the world isn't worth what it would cost some people to pay off their student loan. What's the silliest thing you've ever spent money on? Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for the latest videos. And remember, you always have a choice. Choose luxury anytime.